Praise the Lord.
Wow, good evening once again. This is Generational Leaders Talk Show, a program which is designed to help you, inspire you, and also to challenge you and stretch you to think beyond your present situation. Gone by was a Bring It On with David Santos. This segment is a segment of thought-provoking, stretching you to do something with your own life. And today, we are privileged to have a great person I happen to know for some time now, very inspiring, speaks on all subjects. Today is here to help us to see how best we can think beyond the box. So I won't like to waste my time. It's no other person than Mr. Eric Odro. Eric, good evening.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. I hope you are fine.
Yes, everything is okay.
Thank God. We're happy to have you here, and we trust that today our viewers will really enjoy and squeeze everything out of you.
That's what we are looking at.
Yeah. And today we are looking at the subject managing the business and financial prudence. Wow. For the past few weeks, we've been dealing with the subject how to start your own business. Okay. We've laid the foundations. We've talked about planning, how you ought to plan, the steps, what to do, what not to do. Now we're in the stage of, after all this, how do you sustain? How do you try to go beyond from where you started? And how do you also raise capital to go along with it? What are the things that one ought to do? Because we've been told to go out there and start something with our own life. So we are looking at all these things, and I know you are very good in this area, so you can be of help to us as well. So looking at it, when we say managing your own business, I want you to give us a little bit in-depth analysis of business management, sort of.
Well, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity this evening.
Thank you for coming.
To allow me to also share some few thoughts with the public, especially the listening public, for KFM
TV, yeah.
Yes. And I think you've been doing so well for the past couple of months, and if not even years, I've been watching. And the platform as generational leaders is perfect.
Wow.
But you need to do more to incite the tenets of the content. You must get a model.
Okay.
You must design a model, and the model must guide you how you structure out the output from that model.
Okay.
Because if such a platform has been hatched to give direction to the public, especially the youth, then it mustn't just be at the threshold of KFM TV. It should traverse beyond
KFM TV,
other platforms.
Wow.
Yes, so that the benefit for which it was designed, naturally people, get benefit out of it. So it's much more important. And I think these are the preliminaries I want to make it out clear that you are doing great job, but you need to do more and make sure that you get sponsors and you have to go to wherever that you need to go to bring out the youth that we need.
Wow.
I think these are some of the initial comments that I will make.
Thank you for your observation anyway. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Okay. So like I said, if you can give us a little bit in-depth analysis of business management.
Okay, yeah. When you talk about business management, say business,
business
and management.
Sort of.
Yeah, business naturally is trying to formulate a concept so that you can translate that concept into a viable commercial activity or project or program, which may be translated into a product or service at the instance of offering it for sale, so that someone buys it either on cash or on credit. I think these are the generic explanation that we're going to give to it. And the management aspect is putting taps on how to sustain that business. So management, we are not going to look at the verbals, the the big word management we are looking at, because if you talk about management, a woman at Makola, she is able to found her business maybe for the past 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 or 30 years. She's able to look after her children. She's been able to send some of his family people to abroad. She's able to build. She's able to even create other jobs. She's able to expand the business. So it tells you that management does not necessarily mean that you must have gone to school to acquire certain academic qualification. Of course, it does help. They do help. But management is what is embedded in you from the nature and nurture. The nature is what and nurture. Yes, okay. Nature is what you are born with. The inherent traits, the attitude, the behaviors, and the talents that you have. And the nurture is the environment where you find yourself. The upbringing, the associations, the reference points, people that you've come across. I mean, it's how they have shaped your upbringing for you to become a person. If you want to create a business and you are managing it, what is in you and what you get out of what? The environment. So management is a broader concept. It's a discipline on its own. Okay. But we need to skew it within the framework of what we are discussing now. And so management is making sure that you are able to plan, you are able to coordinate, you are able to motivate, you are able to lead, you are able to assemble all the resources to make sure that you take very good decision to achieve whatever that you are managing, so that it doesn't fall out of what plan. Okay. And so that's the more reason why there are some people, they have their personal traits, and you ask, why do you sustain there? We will come, we will just be developing the points and the dovetail into that particular arena. Yes, because if you want to grow business, the first thing that you need to ask yourself is that, do you have the charisma, the charm? Do you have the sacrificing heart? Do you have the mind? Do you have all that it takes for you to grow business? Because someone may say that, oh, I go to work 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, 8 to 9 hours a day. And for that matter, I am being stressed up. The person stops, founds or opens up his own business, and is now doing 12 hours or more. So the fact that you are doing business does not mean that you are going to get rest. But you see, you need discipline. It's very key in business. And if you look at all those who have succeeded in running business, the key thing is discipline. Why are we saying discipline? Discipline is saying that if you are starting the program at 6 p.m., 6 p.m., you must have started doing that particular program. Because if you are not disciplined, whatever that you have set for yourself, everybody is looking up to that. So once you yourself break that, you break that particular plan or program or project, then you have sort of interrupted other people's expectations on you. And the person might be your supplier or a service provider or a vendor or a customer, a client, a potential one. It could be any trade stakeholder. So if you are not able to be in your line regarding discipline as to how you are running your business, then you distort the value chain, the integrity creating value chain. Because if you are disciplined, naturally it brings what? Brand awareness. If you are disciplined, it helps in creating your brand. If you are disciplined, it even defines the business objective. And what's the business objective? That is profitability, growth, expansion, survival, meeting shareholders' wealth, and creating value for the customer. So if discipline does not come in, all these threats of or phases of objectives of building your business for it to sustain, you will not be able to achieve them. because what you told yourself, you have breached those things. So discipline is very key, and I will reiterate and harp on it such that young people who are coming, who have founded their businesses, who are in the process of founding businesses, and who are even perceiving, having a conceptual framework to come out with businesses, I think discipline is very key. And you need to be able to go in accordance to the tenets and the, what do I say, the rules, the regulations that are guiding that precept of what? Discipline.
Okay.
And I think if you're able to do that, you are going to go what?
Wow.
Very wide.
So that's a
So
good submission. So and when we were talking, I picked one word to charisma.
okay.
How does charisma got to play within business as well?
Oh, that's a very brilliant area you have to look at for. You'd see those days when we were young, we were watching TV, video, and you watch Michael Jackson. You see he has charm and charisma. Even if he hasn't sung, and he say, "Hey," then people are what? Falling off. And so charisma has got different stages, phases, and forms, which you need to connect with the masses, with the clients, with the customer, with the business stakeholders. Why are we saying that? And business does not mean only buy and sell. Oh. Even politicians are what? Businessmen. Church leaders are businessmen. The clergy are all businessmen, because you need to create value, you need to create service. People buy in it, then they follow whatever that you say or you profess to give meaning or benefit to people. And so if you are talking about charisma, one, charisma is a kind of a personal trait which someone has, and that the person is able to use to influence the other person to buy into his philosophy. So
charisma is very, very key.
It's very key.
Business.
Very, very key. If you don't have the charisma, that is the more reason why there are there are businessmen who are in thousands. There are businessmen who are in millions. There are businessmen who are in what? In billions. You are all making it all right.
There are different levels.
Yeah, but the connectivity between your self-esteem, your self-worth, your thinking, the ideology, they have a link to the next person who is coming to listen to you and patronizing your service or product.
Wow.
So if you don't connect that well, you may get 30% of the total market share patronizing in your product. But if you're able to do it very well, you may get 50, 60, 100% because you connect to the people. Whatever that you are saying, you have value that the person is going to enjoy and solve a particular problem. It's like you are offering solution to people. That's why now when you go to bank, they don't talk about any other thing other than what? Offering solution to your needs. So they profile you, look at areas that you can leverage on their services, and they tell you that, oh, if you're able to come for loan, or you're able to come for, let's say, bond, or you're able to even come open an account with us, these are the benefits that you are going to get. So they profile you, look at your needs, and offer services that are going to solve your problem. And it's not even just solving problem, because once you solve the problem must give you benefits, whether you are married, you are not married, or you are in a society or whatever. You also have influence on other people. And for that matter, if you are able to solve the problem, then your family are also going to enjoy the benefit therefrom. Your friends, acquaintances, where you even work, because now you have total solution. So the problems which should have prevented you from achieving higher successes, you have been able to what? Achieve them. And so people, society, whatever that is closer to you, or that is also enjoined with you or to you, they will also take those particular what? Benefits. And so mostly when we talk about charisma, it's very key, and you should be able to connect to the people. And I'm sure once you're able to do that, you are going to go very high.
Let's come back to the word discipline. In fact, I'm interested in it because For a young graduate who just came out of school and tried to start something on his own, the various discipline is going to be very difficult. How can one cultivate or inculcate the habit of discipline?
You see, discipline, it's like two people who are at a court. They are litigating on an issue. The judge is sitting there. The judge is using the facts, the evidence, and other accompanying information based on the submissions from the two opposing parties. The examination, re-examination, cross-examination, and all those examinations. The judge will base on the evidences and proffer judgment. But let me tell you that the secret of the real truth in the case, the two people know the truth. The two people, they know the truth.
It's embedded in them.
Yes, they know it. But maybe one person knows that I know half of the truth. That's why I'm going to court to make a case. If it goes one way with me, then I'm pronounced what? The victor.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that, and the point I'm making is that the two people, they know the truth, not the judge. The judge is just basing. So now linking it to evidence, yes, to offer judgment to the two. Linking it to discipline, you as a business person, as a young person, as a graduate, as SS graduate, you know how you should define discipline for yourself.
Okay.
Nobody will come and tell you that if you want to succeed as a business person, one, your finances have to be what? Be in check. Nobody has to tell you that anytime you have to get a small jotter, ideas that come into your mind, you have to what? Scribble them down. Nobody has to tell you that when you go to sleep, don't just sleep from 8 to 5 a.m. Get up between 12 to 3 a.m. That is where you can propose, you can conceptualize, you can.
That's where the IT can begin to work.
Yes. So these things, they are you. Even some when you go for conferences, seminars, people talk to you, whatever, it is you. So the judge.
The onus lies on you.
Yes, the judge is like the public. You is like the two what? Litigants.
Wow.
And so discipline is inherent in you, but you can also learn. Because you go to university, you go to SS, maybe at home you are being pampered. But you go to boarding house, 4 a.m., 4:30 you have to get up. So you are acclimatizing yourself to that particular situation. Because you can't sleep whilst others are what? Awake. The seniors will even come and what? Ship you.
Yeah.
You see, so you can also learn facets, you can also learn precepts of what? Discipline. And that one will dovetail into anything that you want to do. Now let's come to the crucial aspect about what? Sustaining the business.
Yeah.
Once you form the business, you are now working. There's the need for you to make sure that you sustain the business, you grow it, you expand it, because the more you expand it, you are solving people's what? Problems. The more the business constricts, it means you are aggravating people's what? Problems. So there's the need for you, because God has put something in you. It's not everybody who can open a business. So anybody who is an entrepreneur, a businessman, a politician, a clergy, a chieftaincy, a chief, God has intentionally made them that way. And so they are creating a kind of discipline, kingdom, such that people will come and get benefit out of that. Now, in the business sense, once you are operating, God willing, at least research shows that between 50 to 78% of startups, up to the fifth year, they all what? Fail. So if you are one of the successful ones, after 5 years you are still, sailing, then these are the things that you have to do. One, make sure that you manage suppliers very well, because the key cash cycle is suppliers, customers, and for that matter debtors, and the stocks and the cash that you are getting. So that's a cycle.
Okay, that's a cycle.
That's a cycle. So you go to someone, the person gives you free trade credit, or maybe he gives you service, he provides service to you, you didn't pay. He gives you goods and products, you didn't pay. God has touched his heart. So once you take those things, now you owe them, but you are using those things to solve your problem, to produce or to add value to it, to further
or enhance the business.
Yes. You ask yourself, he may have given you 30 days, 1 month, or 60 days, 2 months, or 90 days, 3 months. Mr. George, I have given you this particular worth of goods. After 30 days, make sure you come back and pay me. Ask yourself, and people who are also listening, at the end of the 30 days, do you really go back and pay the amount of money that you owe that supplier of credit to you? If you are not able to manage the suppliers very well, do you know what happens?
No.
1, you are impairing your brand. 2, you are breaching the trust the person has given you. 3, the good relationships that you are having with that thread of suppliers, you are waning them, you are trying to bring them down. And the flip side is that because now you are having tango, or you are having impairments with your suppliers, the benefits that you need to get to grow your business, getting services and products from there, you get it again. So if your total portfolio is less than 100%, the portion coming for you to use to grow your business, that portion is curtailed.
Okay.
You go to another person. Now we have the credit ratings, the Credit Reporting Act and those things. And so when you are going to take loan or trade credit or whatever, there are companies and institutions and agencies, they can profile your debt profile, your credit profile, whether you are in good credit worthiness or not. Once there is reference to show that you have reneged in paying for your supply of funds or goods or services,
you may not be able to get access.
That is it. So what we are saying is that you make sure you treat your suppliers very well. Because once you are able to pay them, they are also running business. They also buy on credit from people. So once you pay them, they can also pay people to whom they owe. So once you don't do that,
it's a chain of reference.
It's a continuum.
Okay.
So if you don't do that, you are also truncating the running of their businesses. And they cannot also expand because you have withheld paying the amount due them.
So it creates this
disruptions. Yes.
And also distrust.
Yes. Distrust and mistrust. So once you are able to, that's what they all dovetail to the discipline we are talking about. So once we all conspire to say that we are going to be disciplined, then our actions, programs, activities, philosophies, whatever that we do, they are going to enhance the next person's net worth. Once the next person is also getting whatever that he also has to get, he's growing his business, and the net effect is that the economy is expanding. Why? Because he can employ, you can employ. Once you employ the person, that we call it staff cost. And there's an aspect of staff cost you need to pay in terms of our taxation. That is PAYE, pay as you earn. So the number of people that you employ, now you have staff, the staff strength is growing. You are giving hope to somebody. The salary that he gets, he's also going to at least give small to another person, or his son, or his siblings, or the society. The person is now paying tax. Once he pays the tax, so you've given him employment too. Now he's paying tax to the government. The government getting the tax, he can also embark on developmental projects. Once there's developmental project, then at least when there's infrastructure, more businesses could be opened, because even in China they say create and build road first. I was talking to an MP. What he said was that in his constituency, when the 1D1F consultant, the businessmen and those in that particular value chain, when they came to the constituency, because the road network is so bad, after the assessment, they told the MP point blank that we cannot invest our monies here.
Wow.
Because the roads are not good. You see that? So the road network has curtailed
an investor
to have built his factory there, which would have helped the people in the society. They will not come to Accra. So rural urban drift would have been what? Curtailed. And so you see that the people there will get assurance. They will also learn from the tenets of how to create business and run business. You see, we call it the multiply effect.
Okay.
So once a good seed is being sowed, that means it traverses or it translates into creating better living standards for people. Because I am able to meet the standards in terms of what the customers are looking out for. I'm able to meet the standards in terms of what my suppliers are looking out for. And so this is how it pans out.
Wow.
The government now gets the tax. He's able to create the economic activities and the infrastructure so that more businesses could be created. Once you are now paying PAYE to government, that is not all. You buy goods and services. Some of the services are VAT inclined. So the direct tax that you have paid to the government, you are also contributing indirect tax.
You pay
tolling taxes. So when you are also buying from people, they are also expanding their businesses. They also buy what? Goods and services, and also pay withholding taxes. So the moment you are able to pay back the credit that they gave you, you are creating more jobs. The more you are also buying from people, they are also buying and buying and buying. So in terms of taxes, direct taxes and indirect taxes could be paid, and the government could get his part. I hope you're getting that.
I'm getting it.
So the cash cycle, if you want to, the cash cycle.
I want to let my viewers know. So we come back. We'll come back again.
Okay.
Wow, it's getting interesting here, and we are enjoying from Mr. Eric Odro. Is getting well interesting, and I guess you are taking a cue as well. I want to announce the phone lines and also to announce the WhatsApp line. The WhatsApp line is 020-768-1986. It's on the screen. 020-786-1986. And also phone in line is 026-239070. 026-239070. Call, ask any question, or you can send your messages ahead of time. I'll be glad to read it. Mr. Drew is here. Any question you want to ask him, he's here to answer you. So you can go on.
Yes.
So I want us to come to the financial prudence.
Okay.
You've alluded to a good point, which I think my viewers are taking a cue out of it.
Very good.
We all know that money is the engine of the business. All the things we are doing is all about money. How do we manage our money when running the business? Because sometimes you see somebody, the money that is supposed to use to pay a client or to pay something that he went for, you use it to spend for himself or herself because money is coming. How do we manage it?
Key thing in managing your business to be successful is financial prudence. Making sure that you have revenue projections. So revenue projections are what you intend to earn or you intend to receive from the goods and services that you are selling. That is one. Two, you should be able to control your cost. So you have cost control and cost reduction. When the company is not doing well, what you need to do is that you have to do cost reduction, not even cost control. Control is making sure that where the level of cost incurrence is being pegged, at least you can maintain it and not spend overly. If you are to spend overly, it should be a net benefit over the cost that you are incurring. For instance, let's say you have a 25% budget for promotion in terms of, let's say, social media, in terms of traditional marketing, in terms of, let's say, TV, radio, and the rest. But you see that once you are doing that, the benefits that you get from sales is not what you are anticipating. That one is cost, of course, but there is the need for you to do additional cost, because any additional cost is going to expand the scope of how at least people are going to get to know of that particular product. So this one, there is the need for you to make additional cost incurrence, but the net benefit must be more than the cost that you have incurred.
I see.
Other than that, you need to do cost reduction, and that is what a lot of business people don't do. Why are we saying that? One, you have to know how much sales that is coming every day, every week. How much does it dovetail into the month? How much have you had? How much did you spend from it? You should be able to know the various things that you are spending on. Wages and salaries, that is the very key thing that you have to know, because the people working for you, you should be able to make sure that you pay them. 2, if there are some allowances that must be due them, please pay. 3, if there are some periodic bonuses that you need to give them. The reason why I'm harping on this thing is that it is human beings, of all the 4 factors of production, the land, the labor, capital, and the rest. It is only human beings who can change your fortunes. So anytime a company is not doing well, we must audit the mental genetics of the people.
The mental genetics.
Yes.
Can you explain? Can you tell more?
Yeah, we must know what are they thinking, what they are thinking, because their thoughts translate into the actions for them to prosecute whatever that they are doing. So if you cannot go into their minds, giving them opportunity to express certain things they are not happy about, making sure that you try to probe into certain things that they are not happy about, making sure that even as a business leader, you have to, anytime your workers come to work, you must profile their demeanor. George, today you are happy, today you are not happy, certain things are worrying you. If they are genuine and your gestures are also genuine, they will open up to you.
Wow.
So that is where you should start from. If you are not able to audit the work, their thinking, their mood swings, I am telling you that no, you go and bring consultants, it won't work. Once you're able to solve that particular problem, then you come to the other areas. So what are the other areas? HR, production, or operations. It depends upon the nature of the of the business. We come to marketing, we come to finance. Now let's concentrate on finance. Try to profile the various expenditures. Electricity. At the end of the day, do you put off all the lights? Sometimes you see that the people who close from work, air conditioners are still on, lights are still on. These are petty things you need to what? Yes. 2, you have to look at the cost that you are spending in terms of what? Water. You have to look at the cost that you are spending in terms of what? Communication. Are you giving the people, because especially if the company is such that you need to talk to your clients very often, are you giving them adequate communicational allowance or communicational expenses for them to prosecute whatever that you want them to do? These are questions that you have to ask yourself. Next one, your rent. Are you paying the appropriate rent so that GRA will also get what? Rent tax to also increase the total tax revenue. So you should be able to audit, diagnose, evaluate the various what? Expenditure pattern. Other than that, so you might think
a lot goes into it.
A lot goes into it. That is why we are discussing.
Yes,
a lot goes into it. And so once you are able to do that, then the next thing is every month you have to take your bank statement, pick your cash book, reconcile with the what? The bank statement. Make sure that the checks which have not cleared should be cleared. Checks people are giving to you, if they are not cleared, they have to be cleared. Checks that you also giving out to people, unpresented checks, have they gone to bank for which the bank has not what? Debited your account? All these things have to be known. Then you ask yourself, let me look at the value of the whole business for that particular month. The amount of money that I spent, the money that came into the business. If I do my analysis, is it worth running the business? Is it worth paying that amount of total cost of what? Labor in terms of salary for the people? The money coming in, can it contain and sustain me for the past 6 months, 12 months? If I'm making the same sales or even sales are what? Coming down. These are the analysis that you need to do. If you're not able to do it, then it means there are a lot of problems regarding the business model. You need to do diagnosis. Maybe the way you talk to your clients, maybe you are not calling them very often than not. Because you need to know from them, are you satisfied with the service that I'm giving you or we are giving you? You should be able to ask those questions. So the financials, we have the non-financial aspects which dovetail into the financial aspects.
Okay.
So it's not like you are bent on looking at how I have to get money. Please be very cautious about the non-financial aspect. That's the intangible aspect, because that creates the brand. That creates the kind of respect people give to that particular company, and for that matter, the CEO, the workers, and the business model as a whole. So once you're able to profile your expenditure, and because mostly your revenue item is one, rarely does a company have maybe 2 or 3 revenue streams. It's the service that you are offering.
That determines the
revenue that is coming. But the expenditures are many. You even have to do investment. You need to be able to set aside part of what? The incomes that are coming to buy what? Treasuries. To get short-term what? Bonds. To invest in training your workers. To make sure that you as a business owner, you go for what? Training programs, seminars. To know what is going on in the industry. They are all forms of what?
That particular field that you find yourself.
Yes, you find yourself. They are all forms of what? Investment. And
all those things boost the business.
Of course, yes.
Grow.
Yes. Because if you don't do this, if you are running business and all these things that we are talking about, you are not doing them, it means the company is not growing. If it is growing, then there are certain good things that you are doing, but you can still do what? Do more. So sustaining the business, cost control is very key. Cost reduction, especially when you are not doing well, when the business is what? Distressed. And your revenue should also be reprofiled. You have to ask yourself, which segments of the market am I serving? Am I dealing within my locality? Am I going, if you're in Greater Accra, it's my product being sent to Ashanti region, Eastern region, Bono East, Northern region, Savannah region, and the rest? If you are not reaching out to that place, ask yourself, how do you get to reach out to them? It may not be 1 year. It may not be 2 years, because what must go into the ability for you to reach out to other regions might need what? Capacity, might need human resources, might need systems to be put in place, might need what? Finances.
And structures
have to be put in place. So you have to make sure that you put in these things, and you consciously and in terms of discipline wise go according to the plan that you have put in place. And I tell you that at the end of the day, you'll be able to what? Enter the other regions where your products or services are not being what? Enjoyed by them. Because the more you're able to expand your business, more clientele base, more customer base, more monies are coming, because the customer is linked to what? Sales. And the supplier is linked to what? Purchases. So the more you're able to create value for the customer, he sees good things in it. And one thing is, when the product is of quality, the person doesn't care dishing out money to buy it, because he gets value for it. But where the product, the standard is substandard, or it doesn't meet up to what customers are expecting, naturally once they buy, they will not come again. They might even tell other people that, oh, these people, their product, their service, and you see that you'll be constricting, because the amount of money you'd have gotten from that particular segment of the customer base, you are not getting it. So these are some of the things which mostly go against expanding your business. But if you are able to put very good taps on table to contain costs and to increase revenue, I'm telling you that your business is going to expand, and you are going to sustain it and create other branches, subsidiaries, even conglomerates. Yes, conglomerates. You know, Ghana needs conglomerates.
Oh yes,
because
we need that.
You see,
we need that.
What we need to do is that, as a government, the government must see that for the next 5-10 years, I want to get 2 or 3 dollar billionaires, or the next 10 years. So how does it play out? The government must look out for how does it have to help the younger generation. Now, as a younger generation, you want to come out with a business. Coming out with a business, you don't have the money. To me, much as Parliament has passed a law for us to appropriate monies to give to nursing trainees,
and doctors,
doctor trainees and teacher trainees, the same thing must also be applicable to younger generation who are having the ideas, innovation for them to come out with products, but they don't have the money. How is it going to be done? Now, one, there must be seed money which must have been appropriated by Parliament, such that, you see, when you are growing your business, how to promote the business is a problem. So what the government has to do is that, one, the fund will be allocated to the various key media houses. Let's say every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, right? Graphic, Times, let's say GTV, UTV, TV3, and other media houses. Monies are going to be voted for them. So you, as a new business person, a younger person, maybe between 18 to 35 or 40, you have to make sure that you register your business, you register for VAT, you register for tax, you register SNIT, you must have registered from the Register General Department. All other regulatory compliances must have been what?
Checked out.
Checked out. So that there must be a business advisory body. Okay, so we have venture capital, we have Maslow and the rest. Of course, maybe they may have department for that, but we can still do much more better. So now, what happens is, you bring all your regulatory documentation, your ideas, everything, they profile it, they know that you have done the right thing. Now, every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the next 6 months or for the next 3 months, we are going to showcase your business on TV, in graphic, and other media platforms, including what? The current information technology platforms. So much as we are giving monies to doctor trainees, teacher trainees, nursing trainees, we must do same for the younger person who is poor, having very fledgling acumen, I don't know, talents,
yes, ready to execute it,
concepts,
yes,
to put them into fruition, and they are not being prosecuted. This is exactly what we are to do now.
So should be fund allotted for that.
Yes. Once that is done, you know what? The person gets self-confidence in himself that my product is being shown on TV. 2, the money should have used to do promotion, that money could be what? Allocated for other things. 3, government is even promoting what? His own government.
So government is even involved in whatever he's doing.
I am telling you, government is indirectly promoting what? Business. Directly or indirectly. And even if, let's say, graphic communication, which though is government, but they've got their governance structure, everything, the government is helping, the central government is even helping the parastatal state institutions that are promoting businesses to also grow. Because the money Parliament has passed is also being what? Spent to that. So you could see that it will have a budget, it will have a swelling what? Framework. And this is exactly what we must do. You see, if you look at the younger generation in terms of music, when I love music so much, those days, hip hop, funky, and I mean the late
pops and stuff
yes,
like
and
that.
those things, we love them those times. But now we are grown, so we don't have them. You see, those days when we were listening to, let's say, Shabba Ranks, Michael Jackson, Mary J. Blige, and the rest, you could see skill, acumen, talent in whatever that they are doing. Currently, look at the younger generation, the kind of songs that they are churning out. The older generation, most of them cannot compete because you see talent, you see innovation. The same thing must be translated into a business arena.
Wow.
You see how is it?
It.
Because you listen to the music, then not a chill. So the business acumen that the poor boy from what? Boko. When he brings it out, as I say, a chill. So that now we relate it to the funding framework. Now you must get business angels. The government alone cannot help. The government will create the enabling environment. Now, how do you get the funding? You yourself must have made sure that the little savings that you have to do, you need to do. Because it doesn't make sense as a startup you go to bank. Banks are not even interested in giving us loans in terms of startup customers. So now we have business angels. Business angels are some rich people or elsewhere or other jurisdictions. The retirees, the wealthy retirees form some club and they begin to scout for people who have ideas and invest in them. Ghana, I think these are some of the things as generational leaders you have to do. We call it capital crowding. You crowd out capital. So you pool capital together.
Pool of resources together.
Pool of resources. So you can also get a business angel who is an individual who is interested in your concept.
Let me announce the phone. So the numbers are on the screen. You can call 0246 239070, 0246 239070, and you can also send your messages 020-768-1986. Messages are just dropping like that. You just dropping like that. But we also want to hear from him. But let me read some of them anyway. This one says, "Hello, good evening. I'm Priscilla watching your show from Tema. I'm really inspired. I have also learned new things. God bless you." This one, no name. He said, "What a guest. He can really talk. He has all the stuff. King George, bring him back. Please, next time, add your name to it." And this one says, "I'm just close to my TV set. I'm speechless, just writing. I'm David. Thank you. David, thank you for your comment." And this one says, "Jennifer, such an inspiring business show. Keep it up. Thank you." And this one says, "I'm Charisma. I'm glad my name is being mentioned on the show. I'm loving the show. Thanks for KFM TV. Thank you too." And this one says, Percy says, really thought-provoking. Jotting certain things. Very soon I'm about to start my business. Taking serious cues from your guests. So insightful, so outspoken. He knows exactly what he's talking about, and it's a very practical. Thank you, Percy. And this is one says, "I'm Thomas, watching you live from Newtown. I'm just learning a lot from your guests. Very well knowledgeable about the subject. Please, can you bring him back next week?" Wow. This one says, "I'm Minister Michael, watching you live from Achimota. Just enjoying myself. Such a wonderful educative program. Keep it up, KFM." Thank you, Michael. And this one says, "My name is Lady. I just completed senior high school. There is no money. There's no money from the house I'm coming from. But listen to your guests. I'm jotting certain things down, and I believe I don't need much to start. I need discipline and determination to go ahead to start something." That's a good initiative. And this one says, "I'm Prince Elvis, watching you live from Tema. Just enjoying your guests. Such a deep, thought-provoking person. Keep it up, King George. Thank you." And this one is from Kolebu. Said, "This is Jerry, watching you live. I cannot phantom it. If I'm to apply these principles, automatically my business will surely grow. What I lack is the discipline, but based on the analogy he gave, I've taken a cue from it. God bless generational leaders." God bless you too. A lot of messages, but I cannot read all we'll go back to him because time is also going. So I will maybe read them in the course of the program. Okay. Mr. You're making some points.
Yes. Now let's talk more on the funding. Very key.
The funding of the business.
Yes. And let us open certain floodgates to the masses. And I love business, honestly, because I love even to help startups more than even multinationals.
Wow.
I don't know why. Yes. Because I think people must get job to do. When I see people who have finished universities, polytechnics, other tertiary institutions, and they are not getting jobs to do, then I ask myself, what can I also do to help them? That is why we have also started Institute of Tax Law and Forensic Accountants.
Okay.
We just finished the program today. Saturday we are there, so we are doing it until 18th of December. It's tax, accounting, forensics, and law. And so these are areas that people can also
take, right?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
yes,
cool.
yeah. So we are running professional certificate in forensic accounting and tax law.
Wow.
So these are some of the models that we have developed so that we can also help the youth. They need help. Job is important. Now coming back to the sourcing for fund. You see, debt is good. Debt is good. But if you are going to take loan from someone, you have to make sure that, one, you can pay. You see, we have something called character. The character that you have determines whether when someone gives you loan, you'll be able to pay back. And two, you must ask yourself that apart from the character, do you have the capacity to pay that particular loan? Three, you must also ask yourself that the loan that you are being given, the interest rate, because the principal is there, the interest rate, would you be able to pay the interest rate as well? These are questions you have to ask yourself. And that is not even all. If you are not able to pay, the reputational risk that you are even going to face from the person who gave you the money, would you be able to bear it? Because there are some people, any little thing, it demoralizes them. So they will not be able to stand up again. Do you have that good heart, that strong heart, that whether it is good time or bad time, would you be able to stand? So please, anytime you are going to take funding in terms of debt, either from your friend, from your family person, from your sibling, from the bank, or any other institution, be very, very careful. Because that one, there are strict jacket laws or regulations connected with that one. But the good thing is that once you have the discipline, you tell yourself that, you see, let me even start. Before you start the business, we call something pipeline.
Okay.
Pipeline is trying to make sure that you sample people's ideas, whether they will like your product. You try to test the product on people's minds, on people's likings. You have to make sure that in marketing, you call something pipelines. So where you work, where you go to school, where you play, wherever you find yourself, discuss it informally with people. Oh, I want to come out selling mobile phones the next couple of months. Then get no reactions from people. Do people need mobile phones from individuals like you? Are they not going to go to shops or let's say well established? So try to do pipelining. It's very key. It works like magic. So it will give you an overview of that particular thing that you are coming to do. So if you go even to take loan from a bank, because you have tested the market indirectly, informally, you know that at least you have about 20% or 30% success rate.
So you can tell.
Yes, you can tell. If you don't do that, you see that you go in for the loan, you are selling the product, people are not buying it. Not that juju or someone is doing you. You didn't use your test marketing very well. You didn't do business diagnosis. Your research was impaired. You didn't come out with a very good survey. Yes. So once you are able to do that, then you can tell that, if I'm able to make, let's say, 500 Ghana cedis per week, I'll be able to get, let's say, 60 Ghana cedis to go and pay part of the loan. And please, loan payment of loan does not mean every man come and pay. Even if every 3 days you can, let's say you are to pay 250 Ghana cedis every month. Even if every day or every 2 days or every other day you get 10 cedis, 50 cedis, 40 cedis, put it in the what? Bank account. Go and pay it. Because once it's on you, you are going to what? Spend it.
Yes.
So when a banker tells you that every month come and pay 250 Ghana cedis, that does not mean no. Before the month will have what? Elapsed, the accumulated payment would have what? Would have made up that 250 Ghana cedis. I hope you are getting it.
I'm getting it.
So please, the younger generation, when you go and take loan, make sure you do pipelining, do research, do survey to test whether that product you are going, because banks, it's people's money. You see, banks, it's a deposit. They take people's what? Money. That is what? Liabilities. Then they give out. That is what? Asset. So they will never sit down for them to take people's what? Money, which is liability to the people is an asset. Then they give it to you as an asset to them, and you being liable to them, and you are not going to pay. They will not allow you. That's why banks do due diligence before they give out the money to you.
So I think our time is fast spent.
Okay.
So I think you have to come next week.
All right then.
We really put on an engagement to come next week so we can continue. We have just 5 minutes left.
Okay.
So we want you to look at the camera and tell the viewers something.
All right, viewers, today is a very great day for each and everyone, especially generational leaders and Ghanaian youth who have taken upon themselves to make sure that they come out with products and services to further the cause of what? Ghana's economy, to create jobs for ourselves. Because the government can only employ 650,000 what people out of almost 31 million what people. So if the private sector is not doing something, then where are we going as Ghanaians? So on this note, I urge you to be forthright, to be more disciplined, and make sure that any little money that you get, you save it. Things which are not necessary, don't spend on them. Anytime too you get an idea in your mind, put it down. And the last thing is that there are other alternative sources of what? Funds. And next week, God willing, once I come, I'll let you know, because there are other areas like what? Cooperative societies, where we can what? Mobilize funds is there. We have got alternative what? Funding sources. When you go to Ghana Stock Exchange, we have alternative funding what? Sources. That's for the SMEs. Next week when I come, I will explain so much and you're going to get a lot of solutions. And I think within the next 2, 3, 5 years, Ghana is going to be what? Wow, in terms of business one and job creation. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you too, Mr. Eric Drew, for making time with us. We want to thank you for your time. We want to thank you for making yourself available to come and teach us more. And I believe next week we will start on time so we can expand this subject very well. We hope that the virtue that you've given us wouldn't be in vain. We also want to thank our viewers for making time spending time with us and making sure that they are learning and taking some key out of this show. And I know that after we had dealt with this subject, your life wouldn't be the same. Because I was even discussing with him off air that, look, from what the government said, that young people should start their own business, I think that's the best. That is the best alternative. And you and I know that each and everybody is endowed with the seed of greatness and engineered for success. And the principles is what we are learning from today. I trust that your life wouldn't be the same. Next week, stay tuned with Generational Leaders. My name is King George. Until coming away the same time next week, remember that there's always peace in the midst of the storm. God bless you, and God bless you, and God richly bless you. We've also thanked our guests already for that. So I want to say God bless everybody.